Welcome to a new video, and today I'm gonna talk about the invasion of Sicily. Upon victory in North Africa, Allied forces used ports in North Africa as staging points northwards towards the underbelly of Europe. The first target chosen by the Allied commanders was Sicily after concluding an amphibious operation against Vichy France would be impossible. Allied occupation of Sicily would also safeguard Allied shipping in the Mediterranean, as well as relieve Malta from the constant Axis air raids. On the 10th of July 1943, Operation Husky called for 2,590 Allied ships to land 180,000 troops, 600 tanks and 14,000 mechanized vehicles on the Italian islands in 3 days at multiple sites, forming the second largest amphibious operation in the European theater. A large gamble the Allies took on was that the landing took place at several locations. A failure in any of the many locations could negatively affect the outcome of another landing site. When the actual landings took place, harsh weather conditions, very strong winds, surprised the Axis defenders, while support fire from ample naval power ensured successful landing operations by the Allied 15th Army Group. The Army Group consisted of the US 7th Army and the British 8th Army, benefited greatly from the newly developed Duck landing craft. The landing forces were protected by 6 battleships, 10 cruisers and 2 aircraft carriers. 4 airborne operations were also conducted. Eventually 180,000 soldiers would set foot on the island. The island was defended by 230,000 Italian troops, consisting of weak coastal defense units. It was generally thought that the best Italian units were lost in Africa, although Dwight Eisenhower was unwilling to discount the quality of the Italian troops, as the psychology of defending their own home island could make a world of difference in their ferocity. The Italian troops were augmented by 2 German divisions under command of General Hans Hube, which commanded much attention by Eisenhower's intelligence staff. Initial resistance was fierce from the Italian 7th and 16th Corps, and the German 14th Panzer Corps combined the strength of 400,000, but under pressure of Eisenhower's troops, they soon buckled. Syracuse was taken on the first day of the invasion, nearly uncontested, Palermo on the 22nd of July, and Catania on the 5th of August. The air defense on Sicily was comparatively stronger. Stukas and Me-110s strafed the invasion fleet whenever opportunity presented itself, not causing serious damage, but spared up enough panic to seriously endanger the success of subsequent operations. For example, when Allied C-47 transports carrying airborne troops flight across the invasion fleet, the naval gunners nervously fired their anti-aircraft weapons at the friendly planes in total panic. Hundreds of men were lost, entire sticks of paratroopers jumping early when their pilots in all the confusion hit the green light, and the heavily laden men came down in the ocean and disappeared. From the 17th of July, Bernard Montgomery's British 8th Army secured the Catania region on the eastern coastline of Sicily. To the north of them was Mount Etna, where strong garrisons stood. Plagued by malaria, the British troops divided into 2 columns, each marching north on either side of Mount Etna. The westward flanking column was conducted by surprise to both the defenders and Montgomery's American allies alike. This move actually cut off part of the American advance across the center of the island, which enraged George Patton. Patton reinforced the British western column near Radanso as ordered, but he wanted to protest the British general's move into his turf. The Battle of Troina characterized the fierce though few inland fighting on the island of Sicily. The American 7th Army, 1st Division and 2 Canadian regiments fought off 24 separate counterattacks during the battle, while behind the line artillery shelled German positions in the rocky hillsides. Several days after the capture of Troina, Americans were surprised to find a small valley filled with hundreds of Germans dead. They were victims of artillery fire, said Eisenhower. If the front-line infantrymen did not appreciate artillery support, they did now. The fall of Palermo on the 22nd of July damaged the Italian morale tremendously, giving those in Italy who opposed Mussolini's pursuit of war an opportunity to seek an armistice. However, it was not an easy task, as the Italian ranks were infiltrated by German spies. An airborne operation was planned in cooperation with certain Italian groups to seize Rome, but it was called off by the Italians at the last minute due to German movements nearby. General Maxwell Taylor later made a secret trip to Rome to negotiate with the Italians, assuring that the Italian surrender would guarantee Allied protections against German retributions. He promised that the Allies would land up to 3 divisions in Italy, but the Italians wanted 15. The fall of Sicily in August 1943 affected the Italians so tremendously that a coup d'etat materialized. Italian leader Benito Mussolini was deposed from power and a new government under Marshal Pietro Badoglio accepted a short military armistice with the Allied powers on the 3rd of September. By this act, said Badoglio, all ties with the dreadful past are broken, and my government will be proud to march with you on the inevitable victory. Eisenhower publicly announced that bombing raids against Italy would be ceased due to the Italian surrender, although in actuality Eisenhower's true intentions were to use the bombers to transport vital supplies to the front. Therefore, some argue that the gesture was not completely out of a merciful nature. In response to the Italian surrender, the Germans ordered for the removal of the elite 1st SS Panzer Division from Russia to Italy. Most of the Italian fleet escaped to Malta, but the Luftwaffe was able to sink several Italian ships before they were surrendered to the Allies, including the battleship Roma, which was sunk by the newly developed FX-1400 armor-piercing radio-controlled gliding bombs. Mussolini was later rescued by a daring airborne commando mission and installed by Germany as a puppet leader in northern Italy. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.